Hey family, so in this video, I just want to basically show you guys that programming is very real, very, very real. And it doesn't matter where you are in the world, whatever you're being taught, whatever you see over and over again, that is what you become. That, like, you really don't have a choice in what is being portrayed as beautiful. You just fall in alignment with it. So in America, what is seen as beautiful or what is portrayed to be a beautiful woman is a woman who wears wigs, whose hair doesn't look kinky, African American, a woman who covers their face in makeup, a woman who wears fake eyelashes, making everything exaggerated, a woman who dresses provocatively, shows their body. That is what is portrayed as beautiful in society, in America. But it's not because we think that. It's not because we feel like that's the most beautiful, but since we see it a lot and women are praised for this, ultimately we fall into alignment. We come into agreement with that. That is what's beautiful is. That is what you need to have or look like in order for you to have attention on you, okay? In order for you to have confidence, I must look like her. I must look close to that as possible. I must look as fake as possible. So that's what we're taught. But I'm just going to show you guys what is beauty in different cultures. Well, really in this culture. And what you guys will see is that their standard of beauty differs from our standard of beauty. What they're told is beautiful is different from what we're told is beautiful. So if you go to Africa with American beauty, what we see as beautiful, they're not going to look at you the way that Americans look at you. They're probably going to look at you like, that is not cute, okay? So just like, and look, we're just being real here, just like if they come to America with their standard of beauty, Americans are going to look at them as, that's crazy, like, that doesn't look right, that's not cute. So it's all about what we're programmed to think.
Women hairstyles are very important and meaningful for Mula culture. Women coat their hair with a red paste called onkula, which is made of crushed red powder mixed with oil. The hairstyle is then decorated with beads and shells. The plaits, which look like dreadlocks, are called notombi and have a precise meaning. Women or girls usually have about 4 or 6 notombi, but when they have only 3, it means someone has crossed to the other side.
Now you can sit there and make excuses. No, that's just their culture. No, this, and that. Everything has a root. Everything has a source and a reason. All right? It's not by chance that all of them think one thing is beautiful. You don't see them with weaves and makeup and fake eyelashes. That's not their standard of beauty. They have their real face. They just happen to put this paste on their hair. That's what they define as beautiful. And there's a lot more to it, but the whole point is, y'all, this is what they were taught.
The Turkana are Nilotic-speaking people. They have for a long time stayed outside of the influence of the main foreign trends. Turkana women wear beads which could weigh up to 5 kg and never have to take them off, except when mourning and of course when sleeping at night. In fact, women who don't wear beads are avoided by men who could have been potential husbands.
What does this sound like to you? To me, it sounds like it gives these women no choice as to what they should define as beautiful, because it literally said people or women who don't wear these beads are avoided by men. Same in our society. All right, it's the same concept. So when women are programmed to think that one thing is beautiful, they tend to just draw toward it and they become just like what they are, being taught, what they see as our standard of beauty. And so the point I'm making is that, if a man is programmed to think, all right, this is what's beautiful, this is the type of woman you should have, women are going to be programmed to think you need to look like this in order for a man to find you attractive. So, a woman who is natural and, expresses herself the way she sees herself individually and not what majority says is beautiful, a lot of times they are ostracized. So, and it's really all about what's inside, because when you have all of this cover up, thank you, Lord, when you're covering yourself up and you have this mask on and you're disguising yourself, you don't really pay attention to the inside of you. Whereas most natural women, we accept ourselves for who we are, and we focus more on our personality. You know what I mean? Like, we become different. There's a different, I don't know, and I don't want to say energy, but our spirit just is seen very much so. Like, I don't know how to put it, but there's a huge difference between a woman who is natural versus a woman who wears makeup and all this weave and wigs and all of that type of stuff. Like, we don't feel the need to cover up because our personality just shows enough. It is enough. You know what I mean? There's a different type of confidence that we have.
Get a wall. Don't worry, I'll explain why these men have makeups.
Okay, so y'all already know I was gonna point out the demonic possession in this video, in this clip. So as y'all can see, this is another case of, here's an excuse to why these people are doing this. So what you're looking at is men in makeup. Okay, their excuse is, oh, there's just like this festival that they're doing this thing. That is an excuse for these men to put on this makeup. This is a ritual that they are doing. There's a reason for everything. And this man is completely possessed. All right, the eyes are the windows to the soul. Look in his eyes. That is not normal. I don't care which way you put it, say it, however you want to flip it. You know what I mean? Whatever excuse you want to make. Oh no, he's just very expressive with his face. Can we just stop? Can we just stop with the excuses and send excuses to the pit? Can we do that? Is that a thing? Well, if not, then now it is, because I'm just gonna demolish all excuses. This is not an excuse for a man to put makeup on his face. Nyla, why are you coming for their culture? That's our African culture. No, this is demonic, period. Whichever way you put it, it does not matter. It's completely demonic. And these women, they don't see anything wrong with it. Whereas if they came to America, if a man is wearing that, we call that homosexual. We call that drag. You have on full-on drag right now. Can we just use our common sense? This is what they're programmed to think is beautiful. They're programmed to be attracted to one thing. We see it as crazy. They see it as... So we see this as beautiful. We think this is okay. There's nothing wrong with it. That we know nothing else, all right? We don't know anything else. We don't see anything else. This is us. This is just how we are, right? But the truth is that they've been programmed to think a certain way. They've been shown certain occultic practices. They're normalized. So everything that we see on this video, since we're American, we are not programmed to think this. So we don't think it's normal, but they think it's completely normal. And what if I told you that this is exactly how the Lord sees us when we adapt to the worldly things? You think it's okay, but God doesn't. So God sees this no different than the way Americans see their standard of beauty. God is looking the same way you may be looking at this video, and what their standard of beauty is the same way God is looking at Americanized beauty. What we think. I'm not going to say we, because that's not what I think is beautiful. What they portray, what we see in media, that's not what I think is beautiful. I think it's super fake, period.
Gerewal of the Wadabe people is a colorful centuries-old festival during which men put on makeup, dress up, and perform a series of enigmatic dances to attract a wife, or at the very least, get one for the night. The Wadabe are a polyamorous people, meaning that sleeping with other people while married is not a bad thing. During the occasion, men paint their faces with red ochre, draw patterns on their faces, pile on jewelry, and sweep on a slick of black or blue lipstick during preening sessions which could last for hours. They then dance in long lines each evening in front of groups of beautiful women to emphasize how tall they are. An older practice in Mauritania, which is gradually fading out, involves sending young girls as young as 5 to fat farms where they are fed with foods and liquids to make them gain so much weight as early as possible in readiness for marriage. While it is true this practice does come with its own health issues, this is a bit more like the super skinny obsession in most Western cultures, but in reverse. In Mauritius, obesity in women is seen as a status symbol and most likely to attract a rich and successful husband. In these parts of Mauritius, being overweight is a symbol of beauty.
So in America, we're programmed to believe that you have to have a flat stomach. That is what's beautiful. All right. You have to look like what you see on a magazine. And in Africa, you have to be fat to be seen as beautiful. That is their standard. It's completely opposite. So if you really take a look at it, you're like, which one is right? Right? Like, is it right that they think you should be fat to the point where they're literally selling people? They're selling these women, not even women, but young girls, so that they can be ready for marriage, because a man is going to want you to be obese. You know, that's what they see as beautiful. Is that right? Or is it right for a woman to try their best to maintain a slim waist? All right. The truth of the matter is, when you're healthy, it's just going to show on the outside. All right. When you take care of yourself, right? But it's not about forcing yourself to be this way, or, you know, people that get plastic surgery to be skinny. I'm not shaming anybody. I'm just speaking from the Holy Spirit. You know what I mean? It's just, then when you go to Africa, instead of just eating healthy, like I said, your body's going to show that, all right, on the outside, how you're taking care of your body. So it's not a matter of trying to be skinny or trying to be fat, trying to be the skinniest, you know, doing all this extra stuff to be skinny or to have a slim waist, or, you know, going to extreme measures to be fat, like forcing yourself to eat. Like, this is all unhealthy. Like, all it is just taking care of yourself, you know, eating right, and it'll just naturally happen. You'll just naturally have whatever body you're supposed to have. You know what I mean? Some people are built one way. You know what I mean? Some people are just naturally skinny, just have a high metabolism. Some people don't. It doesn't matter as long as you're healthy. All right. That's really what matters. But when you're doing it because you want to be seen a certain way, it's just, y'all, I don't think there's any other way to explain it. You know what I mean? It's all programming. Now this last one, lip plates. Guys, you heard it and you seen it right.
The Suri tribe and Mercy tribe are two of the ethnic groups collectively known as the Surma people located in Ethiopia. The two tribes share a similar culture, one of which is their famous lip plate. There are a few theories on how the lip plate tradition started. It is most commonly believed that it was meant to disfigure the girls and women to make them less attractive to slave traders. Then in time, the lip plates have become a much loved and wanted symbol of beauty. Today, the tribal tradition of the lip plate is more of a choice thing, and many of the younger generation are choosing to just be a specially chiseled set of teeth.
We see it as something is wrong with it. They see it as
Number 7, Otize.
Okay, and I say all that to say this is all programming. This is all programming.
The tribe is probably the world's most fascinating tribe. Otize, the red beauty paste used by the Himba women, is responsible for their skin's distinct red color, which has earned them the name Red People of Africa. For the Himba people, their hair holds a ton of significance, considered a symbol of fertility.
This is why God is preparing His church the way He is.
That sounds weird. Thick strands of hair is viewed as a testimony to a woman's ability to have children. This is why the average Himba woman spends a ton of time making herself beautiful.
As normal.
Number 6,
all right? He thinks that He created us completely
One of the
beautiful.
most
Like, he took
interesting
his time
characteristics
with
of
us,
beauty
all right?
among the Maasai of East
We are
Africa
his
is their
muse. We
ear
are his
piercings.
creation.
Maasai people
He
slowly
is our
stretch
artist,
their
all
ears
right?
by
He did
inserting
artwork,
progressively
and his
larger
artwork
discs. Both men
is
and women wear
unmatchable.
elaborate pieces of
When
jewelry
he
in
created
their
us,
ears.
he
The
did
size
it
of the lobe was
perfectly. He
meant to
said that is
indicate
good,
wisdom
everything
and
from our head
age.
to our
So the
toes.
bigger
So
the
all this
lobe, the
extra
bigger
stuff
the
is
wisdom,
just
I guess. What we do
what
know
they're
today as
saying
earplugs
is
have been
needed.
used
What
by
they're
the
saying is
Maasai for
beautiful.
centuries. Walk into
y'all, I hope y'all
almost
see what
any
I'm trying to
piercing
say.
shop around the world
Y'all
and
have
you
a
can
blessed day.
find
We remember
various
here in
sizes of
Jesus' mighty, holy,
earplugs. Either
precious
way,
name.
they are content